Well, Newt Gingrich is our new Speaker of the House, and I'd like to tell you what I really think about him, but I can't on television. What's that? Just between you and me? All right. He's a son of a bitch. Appreciate it. Got more spray in my hair than Bobby Goldsboro in 1968. Welcome back to our misanthropic little Keebler tree. What do you think's going to win the Toyota-thon this year? Let's see who fed it and who ate it this week. Newt Gingrich and the Republicans took over Congress this week. This is actually Gingrich's second attempt to seize power, the first, of course, being the ill-fated beer hall putsch. Little historical joke. New Speaker Gingrich had two gavels to choose from this week, a small one used by the last Republican House Speaker 40 years ago, or a larger one made of walnut by his friend. Gingrich said, "I chose the larger gavel because I have an incredibly tiny penis." Gingrich also, nice to see Newt come into town, man. I needed somebody to put the jackboot into the rib. Gingrich revealed this week that even though he will try to cut funding for public television, he is still a fan of Sesame Street's Big Bird. Yeah, Newt? You like Big Bird? This ought to make you happy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You love America. You love that I can do that, Newton. Marion Barry was sworn in this week as mayor of Washington, D.C. once again. Barry's hands were treated for first-degree burns after he touched a Bible at the swearing-in process. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's a whole new Marion. No blow, no hookers, just good government. Yeah, he's actually beginning tenure for a fourth term this week. He said his inauguration was, quote, like a flashback. I mean, deja vu. And turns out abortion clinic killer John Salvi applied for a hairdresser license about the same time he applied for a gun license. Needless to say, the gun license came first because, after all, you have to establish a consistent personal history before they'll let you wield a comb and scissors in this country. Salvi has demanded he be interviewed by ABC's Barbara Walters. That's good, Johnny. Remember when she asks you what kind of tree you'd like to be, you say hanging tree, okay? Chechen rebels armed with pocket knives and rusty AK-47s were holding their ground this week against the Russian troops who were better equipped with steak knives and rusty bazookas. So, and both of them were more armed than I was with that joke. A new sex survey released this week claims 66% of Catholics have had sex at least once a week. The number would have been lower, but they factored in the priests. And FBI statistics show that Gary, Indiana will probably lose its title of the nation's deadliest city after a 30% drop in homicides in 1994. While New York City actually has more homicides, Gary has more homicides per amount of residents. Just another compelling reason why we need some sort of national playoff system. Five convicts are on the loose in Florida after having tunneled their way out of prison. 5 Haitian illegal immigrants immediately jumped in the tunnel, crawled into the cells, and claimed them as their personal property. And in an attempt to show America that he wasn't anti-gun, President Clinton used a 12-gauge Remington this week to kill 2 ducks in Cotton Plant, Arkansas. Of course, the ducks were shot only after former President Jimmy Carter had exhausted every diplomatic effort with the birds. And you watch. Thank you. They're going to go after Clinton for duck hunting now. You watch. You know, Clinton is criticized for his health plan, his tax plan, his choice of tie, everything. His haircut, his wife, you name it. Some snippy bystander has an opinion. And sure, he or she is entitled to their opinion, but it's gotten to the point where people who criticize actually believe their opinion should have an effect, even if it's only that of bird shit hitting the driver's side windshield at 60 miles an hour. You know, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but why is it that every single activity in our lives is subject to a mean-spirited critique? Who wants to listen to some unqualified blowhard, having convinced himself that his uninformed opinion is somehow relevant, yarble through an insufferably long-winded, bullshit-laden rant? Or not? Okay, I'm guilty here too, but having copped to that, I must say we truly are a nation of critics, sniping from lazy boys at a few active individuals struggling to affect political change, make a movie, write a book, tell a joke, design a better faucet. Okay, that guy is an asshole, all right? The faucets are fine. Stop fucking with them, all right? The ones in the airport are like science projects with electronic eyes and motion sensors. Faucet guy, stop it! Look, we used to keep this need to criticize bottled up in the art swamp where it caromed harmlessly off giant soup cans, blank verse, and untalented exhibitionists smearing themselves with chocolate and cramming yams up their ass. But now it's spilled over the media flood wall and into every activity of our lives. Sports, pet training, home repair, snow removal, you name it, somewhere there's a cable show dedicated to ripping it. And I'm not saying there isn't a place for solid, intelligent, constructive criticism. But when was the last time you read a review of something, a movie, a play, a book, that gave you a real feel of what the author was trying to say? Probably been a while, huh? Because nowadays, you can only make a name for yourself as a critic if you pass out blowjobs like Madonna at the NBA All-Star game, or if you're a spiteful crank heaping scorn on everything he sees, the kind of poison-tongued, lard-encased asshole who refuses to review anything he enjoys because his praise mechanism was broken when his father wouldn't buy him an easy-bake oven for his 10th birthday. Now, I don't have any personal axe to grind here. Bad reviews don't affect me that much. I'm not the kind of guy who names names. In fact, I don't even know the name of the slimy fuckwad from Entertainment Weekly. But, I feel so cleansed. The key thing to remember about all critics is that they remain dependent on the innovator, the person doing the real work of creating. And because they just sit on the sidelines of life, never the hunter, they are doomed to be forgotten. But it's not all their fault. I mean, we give them their chance when we rely too much on critics to make our choices for us. We give them the power because the sheer speed of existence has rattled our already fragile confidence when it comes to things artistic. We think we need help sorting out artsy things, that somehow we don't have all the facts. But you know something? We don't need help. You like the Red Skelton painting? Buy the Red Skelton painting, all right? You like Home Improvement? Tape it and go over it like the Zapruder film. It's your living room. It's your life. Go nuts. Enjoy the world on your terms. Follow your own heart and take what critics say with a 50-pound bag of salt, because at best, a critic is just another human being like yourself, fumbling around in the dark trying to separate the artistic wheat from the Wonder Bread. So the next time you see Roger Ebert sitting there on his titanium-reinforced love seat, pissing off on the work of some young person who doesn't quite have it yet but might be on their way to having it someday, remember the one time Roger decided to dive in the deep end of the creative pool. He wrote the Russ Meyer film Beyond the Valley of the Dolls. And if you'll pardon me for putting on the critic's hat for a second myself, I must tell you that was a huge, repulsive, quasi-radioactive, spectacularly inept, borderline troglodytic pow of high-density, lowbrow, can't get it out of your mind or off your shoe dog shit. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and the balcony is now closed. I want to know what you think, America. Give me a call at 1-800-LACTOSE. You probably know our guest, Charlie Sheen, best as the son of his father, Bishop Fulton J. Sheen, but he's also been able to carve out an evangelical niche of his own, preaching to the masses about the ills of a heavily journalistic society. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Charlie Sheen. Charlie. Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go.
Thanks. Charlie, I have to tell you, nice to have you here. I know you were in a car wreck tonight. You okay, Ben?
Yeah, I'm all right. It was a limo, so I had room to, bounce around.
I have to tell you, your interview in Movie Line magazine was the funniest thing I've read since Mark Twain's essay on the literary offenses of James Fenimore Cooper. And I was going to call you afterwards and offer you a job writing, but I knew you were knocking off 6 large a film, and I didn't think the Writers Guild dental plan would mean that much to you. But
probably not. Probably not.
Do you think your candor, and I find you to be the most refreshingly candid guy in this town, hurts you or helps you in what is essentially a small-minded company town like Hollywood?
I have no fucking idea.
No?
I'm sorry, I had to get the first fuck out of the way.
All right, go ahead.
But my mom's watching, so I gotta be, I gotta bring it down. But handing out blowjobs like Madonna at the NBA All-Star game, I'm sorry, is the most brilliant thing I've heard in the last 24 minutes. How about it?
You know, she's always telling me, I just want you to be kind of unknowing about my sexual ambiguity. Okay, I've gone with it, baby. You blow people at the All-Star game. All right,
which I was invited to. But, sorry. God, I keep forgetting we're live. No, I
was asking about being candid. You think
I just, the thing is I was always that way before I became recognizable, or a term that I hate, a celebrity, somebody who's, celebrated in some capacity, I don't know what. I want to smoke. Pete Wilson, just light one up right now, live. What do you think?
Did you say Pete Wilson? Did you say you want to light up a Mexican person right now, or what are you saying?
No, I want to have a cigarette.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to have a cigarette, and you know what? I'll pay the $500.
Are you not allowed to smoke on TV?
Advance, because
I had no idea.
I don't do live often.
Dive into it, man.
Wait a minute. Suddenly I'm getting a reverb here in my own chair. What's happening?
You okay?
No. It's a speaker right here. It's a speaker right here.
Call Emilio. Charlie's having a breakdown.
No. I'm sorry. No, he's the last guy I'm going to call during a breakdown. Because
Emilio wouldn't be there
he's
for you?
always off snowboarding with Cruz or something. I don't know what, you know. But no, but you know what, Dennis? That
Snowboarding with Cruz. That's the coolest
thank
thing
you.
I've ever heard.
Thank you. But I'm standing back there. I'm listening to the rant, you
Yes.
know, which is just nothing shy of genius, and I'm thinking he's saying everything that I thought about saying, and it's already it's been done. It's out there. I just
Yeah,
felt
but I
like
thought you had balls. I've read letters that you've written to critics, and at some point, why are people? I guess it's an unspoken rule that people in the business are afraid to take shots back at these people because then they have the final word in print, and they fuck with your ability to earn a living. Is that the thinking behind it? I guess.
Well, it's like my pop told me early on. Here I go, flashing back. Is that he said, Charles, keep in mind that. You know, they need us. Without us, they don't have a job. We don't need them to have a job, you know.
Yeah. Well, now, let me ask you this. I don't want to look too defensive about this because I've done some things in my life that I thought weren't that good, and I got ripped for them. And are you of that thinking too? You can take that sort of stuff, right?
That would be me. Yeah. What I just felt, especially with that movie line deal, is I felt that I had a forum to finally voice, you know, verbalize things that everybody was thinking, and nobody wanted to say, you know. And I just said, well, hell, man, this is what I believe, and if you're gonna print it, this guy Steve Rubello, who's known for getting these interviews, and I'm known for giving them. We got together. It was like, that's where you come in with a great analogy.
Rebello owned Studio 54 with Ian Schraggero.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, right. But we like
Steve
him.
Rebell, Ian Schrager. Okay.
But and it was insane, and I just felt like
it killed me. It was so out
telling
there.
how it was, you know.
We've got a phone call, line one, Veronica from Louisville, Kentucky. Veronica?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Great, thanks. I wanted to ask both
You
of
got
you,
no answer,
how did
huh?
critics affect both with Charlie's acting and your ranting? And do either of you take it personally?
You know what? From my side of it, I would tell you that we spare no expense here.
Thank you. Thank you
We,
very much.
you know, you got to take critics. All right.
Sorry.
Critics hurt when they kill you, don't they? I try to always act like I'm together, but when you read somebody ripping your new asshole in print, it hurts me.
Oh,
I don't know about
fucking
you.
pisses me off,
Yeah.
man. But it isn't just about the work, it's about the personal shots. Like for the review, there's a piece of shit named Ralph Novak who writes, I'm sorry, I was told not to mention any names, Janet Charlton, but this fucking guy, Ralph Novak, it's not just about my work, it's about, like, you know, he says, isn't it interesting how in Shots One that Charlie Sheen, above Valeria Golino, got credit for his own personal makeup person when she looked a lot prettier than he did? What the fuck? She's a girl and she's Italian and she's sexy. Come on. You know?
So you bump into Ralph Novak tonight. You're over at Tana's getting a little al dente pasta.
If there's no witnesses,
Yeah.
we throw.
We throw!
I'm sorry.
Dude.
I'm not a violent guy.
But you throw.
I'm not a violent guy. We throw.
You were in the tunnels in Platoon. Fuck it. You don't care.
I don't care, man. I don't care. You know?
Well, listen, man. You stay after. I gotta do the news now, and we'll talk a little more afterwards because I like
anything else
talking
you want
to
to
you.
ask him, man? You know, if there's anything else, let's go.
We
We're
only
here.
got like 27 minutes, so I gotta like do the news thing here.
All right.
You want to
I will-
hang out and watch
I'll
it?
hang out.
I'll be
I'll
right
hang
back.
out.
We're
Great.
gonna Charlie Sheen, folks. Give him a hand. We'll be. All right. Let's check out the big screen. Here we see a man standing too close to the podium during Newt Gingrich's inaugural address this week. Here, Kathleen Gingrich, mother of the House Speaker Newt Gingrich, displays an autographed picture of her son. The inscription reads, "To Mom, I'm cutting off all financial aid to you. Love, Newt." During the congressional swearing-in ceremony this week, several Republicans brought in orphans as gifts to Gingrich to show their support. Here we see school children rushing home to beat the new 3 p.m. national curfew instituted by the new Republican-controlled House. Here we see what dental care will look like under the proposed GOP health care plan. Yeah. All right. Just working the Republican speed bag there. Democratic leaders got together Thursday to consider President Clinton's chances for re-election in 1996.
Oh, man.
Yes, Mr. Gingrich. White array, Mr. Gingrich. Whatever you say, Mr. Gingrich. Hillary, I didn't call her sugar. I asked her to pass the sugar. Here we see U.S. helicopter pilot Bobby Hall being released by the North Koreans last week. Actually, we have two for this one. First, yeah, you heard me. I said, so long, motherfuckers. Or number two, yeah, you heard me. I said, so long, cocksuckers. It's all in your personal aesthetic there. Lawyers for O.J. Simpson seem to be quarreling over who will continue to lead the case, with Robert Shapiro saying he is in charge until the case is over. Bobo, the case is over. And Judge Lance Ito took time out over the holiday to be part of the Rose Bowl parade. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Comedian Rodney Dangerfield is suing the tabloid The Star over a story about his alleged partying in a Las Vegas hotel. Dangerfield asked the court, I asked you, is this the face of someone who takes drugs and drinks too much? Washington state legislators complained this week about a plan to hold a weightlifting contest at one of their state prisons. State Representative Mike Padden says he wants to do away with prison weight rooms. So later in the week, the prison canceled the weightlifting contest and instead sponsored a Sodomize the New Fish tournament.
Oh, my God.
We now rejoin Boris Yeltsin's New Year's Eve toast, still in progress. Russian troops were called in to quash the widespread ticket scalping that preceded the Yanni concert at the Grozny Sable Dome this week. The bidding will begin at 89 kajillion, millivanillion, Exxon Valdez, spillion, T for the tillion, fool on the hillion, reading of the willion, don't mess around with billion. Her name was McGill, but she called herself Lillian, licensed to killion, Google Gillian, pesos. Hey, the new 95s are out. And things were rocking at the Islamic Jihad New Year's Eve party. The band played the only two songs they know, Death to the American Fascist Capitalist Pigs and Michelle. As the hockey lockout continues, frustrated NHL players took to the streets of Toronto this week. You know, my son, before I discovered religion, I was drawn, haggard, despondent, couldn't summon the energy to shave. I had sullen rings beneath my eyes and a distant hollow gaze, and now I have a fucking candle. Fenista Medrano of Council, Idaho, pulls her wagon into a field in Santa Clarita, California to set up camp this week. Medrano is on a coast-to-coast Pooling for Christ wagon ride that will culminate when she reaches the Pacific Ocean in Ventura. There, she will pray to Jesus for a jade green 95 Lexus with multi-port fuel injection, dual climate control, and a Blaupunkt CD player. In order to get back in the good graces of the Prince William Sound community, the Exxon Corporation sponsored a snowman making competition this week.
Oh, man.
Jesus. I'm almost finished, Chaz. Jesus, you've got banana breath. Yeah. Remember Ishtar? I directed that. Yeah. The North Carolina Tar Heels face a 3rd and 7 from their own 23-yard line. Suddenly, they drop to their backs and fart in unison. Is this a legal play? You make the call. Timmy, there's a car coming. Forget it, pal. I'm not falling for that again. Just shoot it. And New York City police are still searching for the 3 wise men who disappeared Christmas Eve near Times Square. And finally, give me a hip! Guess what, folks? That's the show. I'm out of here. Good night. Charlie.